Okay. And we're ready to get started. Just received one subscription present from TikTok. Way to go. Getting started, getting started. Here we go. Tra-la-la. Alrighty, so who do we got here tonight? I can't read that. Nothing. Okay, nothing joined. Sammy. Is that Brandon? Brandon, how's it going there, Mr. Brandon? Daniel, how are you this evening? Divvy Dave. Way to go, Divvy Dave. Johnny W. How you doing? Laura, how are you? Getting ready to get started. Hello, sir. Hello to you too, Mr. Brandon. Alrighty, getting started. James, how are you doing this evening? Way to go, just getting warmed up. Alright, we got Facebook up and running. Ooh, can somebody check real quick and see if this is live on YouTube? See if that's working properly? How's the garden? It's working out very nicely. Good, alright, Mr. James. Sammy, do you do covered calls? If you do, can you explain it to me, please? Sammy, Cool Beans, Gallant. Found a good one. Cool Beans, looking forward to it, Gallant. Right now, we're going to give Sammy said, an idea of what a covered call is. Now, Sammy, there are a lot of videos on YouTube. Actually, you can find videos everywhere explaining what a covered call is. You basically buy a stock, a Gallant, you like it, EL, what is that, Estee Lauder? Yeah, I got some of that. Wildcat Sam, how's it going? Sammy, so you buy a stock, Ford, General Motors, IBM, AT&T, whatever. But when you buy the stock, you have to buy 100 shares. Divvy Dave, what's happening? Wildcat Sam, pretty good. Buy 100 shares to equal one option contract. Now, what you're doing is you're buying the stock at a certain price, and then the stock option comes in when you sell the rights to someone else for them to buy it from you at a certain price by a certain day. All right, so let me give you a quick scenario. Right here we're looking at Intel, INTC. So if I want to do a covered call on Intel, I would have to buy shares, either 100, 200, 500, 1,000, whatever works for you. So right now, Intel is at 1992, just shy of 20 bucks. So if I buy it for 1992, I can turn around and sell somebody a call option, and that's called a covered call. Sell them an option to buy it from me for almost the exact same price I just paid for it. So if I'll pay 1992, I sell somebody the rights to buy it from me at 20, which is only 8 cents more than I paid for it. But what I am collecting is what I'm looking for is this right here. This is called the premium. Okay, so when you sell, now as a call writer, that's what you would be doing. You buy the stock, selling the option, you become a call writer, and then you would collect 47 cents per share. I know that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but 47 cents is over 2%. And that's what I'm doing here. I look at safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week is what I'm looking for. This one just so happens to be 2%. All right, and that's not for this week, that is for next week. Because this week, the 16th August, the 20 for this, okay, well, that works too. Okay, this week's the 20 call. If I bought it first thing tomorrow morning, 1992, I could sell somebody the rights to buy it from me from this Friday for 24 cents a share. Now, 24 cents a share is a little over 1%. A little over 1% per week comes to over 50% per year. Now, it's a safe, predictable, consistent trading strategy that I've been using for the last 15 years. Now, I originally started out buying calls, but now I only sell them. because I'm looking for the inevitable. And what is the inevitable? The inevitable is the passage of time. Okay? So, as time passes, the value of these goes down because each day represents a certain portion of the value of the option. Okay, so the value of the option is the amount of time you have left, the current stock price, the current strike price, interest rates, volume, intrinsic value, a lot of weird stuff. But to simplify it, if I'm going to buy the stock at 1992, sell someone the right to buy it from me at 20, I'm collecting 1%. That's basically all I'm looking for. That's only half the equation, though. The other half of the equation is, what is the chart telling me? Now, every chart tells a story. Well, 5 things I want to see when I look at a chart. First is, where's the high of the year? Okay, see, this is the chart. Here's the high. Okay, here's the low, way over here. A year ago, it was way over there, and currently it is right there. And as you can see, it is in a downward trend at the moment. Okay, now that's looking at the 1-year chart. Now, I like to look at 4 different charts. First, I want to look at the 1 year. What am I looking for specifically? Well, I don't want it at the high of the year. See, here's the high right here. I don't want it at the high of the year, and I don't want it at the bottom of the year. So where it is right now, it's bouncing off that bottom, which is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to bounce off the bottom on the way to the upside, because stocks go up and then they go down. They go up, then they go down. They go up, then they go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, that's all they do. They go up and they go down. Now, to make money in the stock market, you buy low and you sell high. Well, you're not going to get very much lower than it is right now. The low of the year. Hey, Drazik, that's 2 days in a row you're here before 11:15. Way to go. Yeah, root beer. Alrighty, let's take a close look at Intel. Alright, taking a closer look at Intel. A year ago, here we are, we over here at 35, shoot all the way up to 51, and that was towards the end of December. Okay, the low of the year was just last week. Alright, so I like the low of the year. I especially like the low of the year once she hits it and then she bounces up to go back up. So let's take a closer look. That's the 1 year chart. Next, I want to take a look at the 90 days. So here's the last 90 days. 38, 90 days ago. Was at 37, it's the top. Back at 38, and she gaps down to 20. From 30 down to 20. Is that right? Yeah. From 30 all the way down to 20. Okay, so our bottom of the year for the last 30 days. Okay, here's the last 30 days. Our 30-day high, 37.16. Okay, our 30-day bottom, right over here on the 8th, and that was 1884. Okay, so where's she sitting right now? Well, it's 4 days to the upside. Not the greatest moves up, but it's still up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days to the upside. So she comes down from a 30-day top, from 30-day bottom. Now she's going to the upside. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, and if I jump in first thing in the morning, buy it at the current market price, 1992, I can sell somebody the 20s and collect over 1%. Okay, great. What if I wanted to do the 1950s? Well, I'm losing 40 cents. Doesn't quite make it. Okay, so if I lose 42 cents, you take 42 cents off of that, I'm walking away with 13. That's not quite the same. Okay, so the 20s looks like it's going to be the best choice. Unless you want to go to next week's 20s, maybe you can get 2%. What's the most you've made in a day? The most I've made in a day? I'd have to say somewhere around 12 or 15,000. That's it. I don't make big bets. Sorry. I'm looking for slow, predictable, and consistent returns. Okay? Slow, predictable, and consistent. What stock are you looking at? James, right now we're looking at Intel. INTC. I love this little gap they have here, because gaps have a tendency to fill. So if she fills, she's going to go to the upside. Right now she's at almost 20. So we got to get a big gap between 20 and 30 that's going to fill eventually. I want to be around there for when it fills. All right. So let's go to our list. Second one on our list is GBP. Is that CPB or GPP? Andrea, CSCO. That's crazy, man. I want to get started, but it's so confusing at first. Eduardo, it's really not that confusing. Okay? Now, I have found in my many years that adults have a tendency to make it more complicated than it needs to be. This trading strategy was created for a 9-year-old. She was 9 when my daughter wanted to learn how to do this. It had to be simple, it had to be safe, predictable, consistent, and no way that she could lose. That's the five objectives I had to figure out when creating a trading strategy for my daughter. So, here's the thing. Let's see if I can get some videos over here. Okay. First thing, never buy something you do not understand. That's rule number one. If you don't understand it, if you don't know what they do, if you have no clue at all about the company, don't buy it. Okay? It's simple. If you don't know who it is, always go into a trade as if you're going to buy it and hold on to it for a long time. Because realistically, that's what stocks were intended for in the first place. So I'm going to buy it, hold on to it for years, and then sell it later on. Well, we're not really doing that here. What we're doing here is we're buying it, scalping a little bit off the top, and then getting out. But I always go in as if I'm going to hold it. Now, I have no problem at all buying Intel and just holding it for a long period of time. But if it hits my target and gives me 1% every week, well, because I'm going to write a covered call against it every week. Great. If I buy it at $20 or $19.92, I can sell the 20 this week, get 1%. More than likely, I could probably do the same thing next week and collect another percent. And then the week after that, and then the week after that, and then the week after that, and continue on and on and on. Okay, I could even buy here and sell 4 weeks out. Look at this. 4 weeks out, I'm getting 90 cents. Well, that's 4%. Well, why not just hit the 4 weeks out, get the 4%, and I don't have to worry about it for another 4 weeks. Well, that's cool. All right, that's Intel. Somebody wants to take a look. Let's get rid of some of these. Upload. Interesting. All right.